What's going on, guys? Jordan here, coming back at you again with another episode of Beer Reviews. Tonight, I'm going to be doing a blind beer battle between Miller Lite and Garage Beer. Miller Lite is coming in at 4.2% ABV, and Garage Beer coming in at 4% even. So, the first video I did featuring Garage Beer, the first blind beer battle I did, wasn't so good for Garage Beer as it lost to Coors Light. So now we're going to see if it can actually get a win against Miller Lite. And I think this one might be a little bit more interesting of a beer review, or beer battle I should say, because I think that Miller Lite is probably the best light beer on the market. That's just my opinion, though. I think it just has probably has the most flavor of the big boys, I would say. So that's what we're going to do. Obviously, we have two plastic cups, GB for Garage Beer, and the ML, obviously, for Miller Lite. It's really not needed. I don't always have to label both. You just label one, but I like to label both for some reason. So we're going to go ahead and pour Miller Lite. Try to pour it as easy as possible. And if anyone's ever curious as to why I do that, it's because I try to pour them about the same with as little head as possible, because I don't want that to be like a dead giveaway. Because if one beer has a head on it and the other one doesn't, whether you're blinded or not, or your eyes are closed or open, you're going to know, oh, that's the Miller Lite because it's the one that had the head on it, and the other one is the Garage Beer because it didn't have a head. That's why I do that. Might have been a poor way of explaining that, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm going to pour this very, very gently because last time it had a little bit more head retention than the Coors Light. I think this time I got that just about perfect. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, I don't know if that's just my lighting. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but the Garage Beer looks a little bit lighter than the Miller Lite. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get on with this. Obviously, if you guys have never seen this before, if you're new to the channel, what I'm going to do is close my eyes, mix up the beers, taste each beer individually, see if I can decide which beer is which, and which one I like the best. The one that I like the best will be the winner. So, I'm going to close my eyes and mix these up, and obviously, since there is a color difference, I will have my eyes closed for the duration of the testing, or the tasting. So, I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to start mixing the beers. I try to talk when I'm doing this just so I can, kind of, forget which order the beers are in. So, just going to mix them up as best I can. And once I feel that I've forgotten the orientation of the beers, we will get on with the tasting. All right, I think that's good enough. I have absolutely no idea which beer is which. So what I'm going to do is decide which one I want to try first. All right, I think I'm going to go with the beer on my right. So we'll go with beer number 1 here on my right. Cheers. See what this is. I'm going to take a guess. I think it's going to be Miller Lite. That's just going to be a out there guess. I have no reason to believe that. I'm just taking a guess. Cheers. Okay. Light, crisp, clean, refreshing, everything you want a light beer to be. This is what this is. Tastes good to me. Beer number 2. Very similar. Okay. This is going to be a challenge, and I kind of expected it to be, considering what happened with the Coors Light video. They're both very similar tasting beers. First off, I got to detect some differences though before I can decide which beer is which and which one I think will win, or whether it's a draw or whatever. So back to beer number one. Excuse me. Man, I don't know. Man, these are close. I am not even kidding when I say these are close. This is closer than it was with the Coors Light, for sure. There's a slight difference here. Let me taste them one more time before I say anything else. Okay. Beer number two. Okay. This one seems to have a tad less flavor than this beer to my left. So which one would that be? I mean, they are very, very similar. Like I said, they are more similar than the Coors Light and the Garage Beer was. These are way closer in the flavor profile. Okay, I'm going to taste them one more time, see if I can figure this out. This one's difficult. Okay. I think I know. I think this is the Garage Beer, and this is Miller Lite. And Miller Lite, if this is Miller Lite, it wins it. Miller Lite wins. And Garage Beer now moves to 0-2 in beer battles. Yeah, these were very, very similar. This one just had a little bit less flavor, and I like the flavor of this one just a tad bit more. But they are very, very similar. I didn't realize there was a dead ant on the cup. He had his last drink, I guess. But yeah, you can clearly see. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's definitely a color difference there. Both have a decent amount of lacing, although the Miller Lite has a little bit better of lacing. But yeah, Miller Lite defeats Garage Beer. So it's not looking so good for Garage Beer. I'm not, and the thing is, it's a decent beer. It's a decent light beer for what it is. The problem is the price point. I mean, it's almost $16 after tax for a 12-pack of light beer. And it's 4% ABV instead of 4.2. Not that it really matters, but it's less. And obviously it's not as good, at least to me, in my opinion, it's not as good as Miller Lite or Coors Light. So that's the problem with it. I'm not saying it's a bad beer. It's decent. I would drink it if it was cheaper. I mean, these guys are relatively new coming into the game. You can't price your beer at almost $16 a 12-pack just because it's endorsed by Travis and Jason Kelsey. Or owned by them, whatever. So I don't see this taking off too well. I don't see it being one of the top 10 beers, light beers in America or whatever. I don't see it in any of that. I don't see it lasting that long, to be perfectly honest with you. I see this kind of fading away unless they bring the price point down, because almost $16 for a 12-pack of light beer is absolutely atrocious. And I won't buy it again. I will not. I have several of these saved in the fridge, and I will be using these for beer battles. That's it. They do have a lime version that I will probably have to pick up, unless I get lucky and find it in singles, because I got to try it. But I don't think it's going to be any better than Bud Light lime. So I guess that's going to be also be a beer battle. Bud Light lime versus Garage Beer lime. So that's the video. Miller Lite, like I said, wins. It was close. I'm not going to lie. It was close. But Miller Lite had a little bit more flavor to me, and I like the flavor of this beer just a little bit more. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Miller Lite's a lot cheaper. Unless you go to my local Walmart, which I don't know what's going on with my local Walmart, but the prices of Coors Light and Miller Lite are almost $15 for a 12-pack. But the gas stations and stuff still sell it for around $12. Maybe the highest $13, but I usually pay $11.54 for Coors Light at my local Munch and Pump gas station. And I would imagine this is the same. I believe it was the same, $11.54. So no more than $12 for the 12-pack of Miller Lite. So I no longer buy my session beers from Walmart. So enough of the jibber jabber, guys. You've heard me babble on and on. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit me with a thumbs up. And if you guys have any suggestions on anything you would like me to try in the future, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try to find it and give it a review. As always, until next time, cheers, and thanks for watching.